everyone, happy Monday. Welcome to a craft night with friends. Thanks so much for joining me. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginners. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. And it's a time that we can relax and craft together. All right, tonight we are continuing on the ABC Stitch Along. We're starting the letter B today, so butterfly. So we did kind of cut out early on Friday, but we did just finish the alligator. So one done, one checked off here. So that's great. We're going to do something special with this letter B butterfly embroidery. We're going to do some color tinting. So I have my colored pencils here ready to go. And I have an example of that. We're actually going to color in the design with some colored pencils before actually stitching it. So it's a fun way to just add a little bit extra something to your embroidery. So you just get to play with some color first. So all right, you guys, let's get going. Okay, thanks again for joining me. Let's get everyone situated here. All right, happy to be back here again. Hey, River City Creative. All right. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Catherine, Adrian, Amy. Nice seeing all y'all pop in from everywhere. All right, so we did get cut off a little bit on Friday, like I said. So we did actually finish the alligator. I think I was just tucking in the end when basically our internet got cut out, so that's fun. Anyway, so we got the letter A done, so he's ready on the side for when we start quilting. But tonight we are going to start the butterfly, so letter B, and I think I might trace this design tonight because we did the iron-on way of doing it with the letter A, so I thought I'd share another way of doing it tonight. And then also we're going to be doing some color tinting. So here's an example of color tinting where we've actually colored in some of our shapes, little edges here. These little guys are colored in, the roof, all of that, with colored pencil. And we did that before we started stitching. And we talked about it the other day and thought it'd be fun to do for the letter B here. And also the question was asked, will this wash away? Will all the colored pencil wash away in the, clothes washer and stuff before, or, is it going to hold up, basically, in the wash? And I tested a piece today. So this is one that we did a while back for our hummingbird design. And I didn't color tint it a lot, but you can kind of see there's a little bit of color tinting here. We colored it in pink, and actually I have some color at the bottom. So this actually I put in the wash today, and it came out just about exact how it went in. So I'm confident based on that the color is going to stay at least for one wash, but it looks really much like a really close to how it went going in. And I did take a before and after, so I'll put that the before and after together tomorrow. So anyway, so I think we'll be okay with it going in the wash if that's something that needs to happen. All right, let's just get started. First things first, let's get our design onto the fabric so we can actually start coloring. So I think tonight will be all about coloring, and I'm hoping we can start stitching tomorrow. All right, so here's the pattern for the letter B. And the paper pattern comes with a traceable one, and I think that's what we'll use tonight. And then the iron-on one, the Iron Me pattern. This is what we used for the alligator. Just to remember, make sure to cut off that Iron Me text before you actually iron it on. Make sure to check out the letter A video on YouTube. Oh, I think I might have to put that together yet. We'll see. But over on YouTube, there is, when we did the letter A, if you wanted to know the process of the iron-on. So you just basically heat up your fabric beforehand, and then with this face down on your fabric, you can press it. Make sure to put a paper towel underneath though as well. And we'll do another one of those. I do kind of actually want to stitch that little book, like turn the whole alphabet into a book. So I might actually go ahead and print, like iron on 2 of these at a time instead of just the one. So maybe I will actually just go ahead and show you how to do the iron on as well. But anyway, so here's my stitch guide. The colors, it doesn't list the colors, but you can choose what you want. I am still using the bundle of penguin and fish colors here. So obviously a pile are open from the alligator. I'm going to see how far this gets me through the whole alphabet here. So, all right. First of all, let's just double check. I think you should probably be able to see this without light underneath. Oh yeah, great. So this is just some of our muslin fabric. And I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll need a light table. If you want to see this a little bit better, I mean, clearly I can see pretty dang well through the fabric. But if you want it a little better, you could put it up to a bright window by first taping, and I'm going to tape this to the table, but you could tape your paper to a bright window, or any window. Oh, I guess not nighttime. A daytime window, and then tape your fabric on top, and then you should just be able to trace through it really easily. And like I said, just because we did the iron-on last time, we're going to do the tracing today. So I am just kind of eyeballing it. Let's see from the top to bottom. I will be like trimming this fabric quite a bit when I'm done. So I'm not too worried about it being super perfect center, but you know, trying to get it close enough there. Oh, using a sheet of color guard works great. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, so I'm just gonna tape the fabric here as well. I think that's probably good enough, but you could do the sides too. Let's just do it. Oh, Cheryl says I posted some of my tatting to Facebook. Ooh, I will go check when we're done here. I have been itching to get back on tatting. Man, you guys, I need another Christmas vacation, I'm telling you. Like, I need, like, just a period of time to just sit and tat again and just, like, craft nonstop. Like, I feel like I did that a little bit over Christmas, and I kind of want to do it again. That'd be nice, right? All right, so these are my 2 kind of go-to things to trace with. One is just like my normal mechanical pencil, and this is probably what I'm going to end up doing a lot of this with. The other is my water-soluble marker. This is just, this is my fine line Mark Be Gone one. It has a nice thin tip. Here is another one, so if you wanted to like screen grab these 2, again, one's by Clover. That's a pretty common craft industry brand. We are sold out of these. I'm going to try and get some more, but I've been having a hard time getting them as far as, like, for the shop. So we'll see how that goes. But I am trying to look for more. All right, so colored pencil, or just a pencil, you just, for both of these, you just trace over. I do like the pencil just because it gets a nice thin, crisp line, and I do like it because it kind of, like, the more you handle it, it kind of rubs away a little bit, which, you know, maybe is a bad thing, but I mean, I like that because it's enough so I can see it with a nice thin line, and my stitches are all going to cover it, so I do just kind of like the mechanical pencil. Here's one of these markers. So with the water-soluble marker, if you just soak it in water when you're done, or just dab the lines, your stitches with water, like with a towel when you're done, that will do the job of getting rid of the lines as well. So simple. Here's that brand, this fine line Mark Be Gone one. Oh, dang. Stitch and Tori says, that's what I asked for my birthday, to not be bothered and to craft all day. Oh my god, just thinking about that just, like, sounds amazing. So here's the Clover brand, so same difference. One thing I have noticed with these markers, if you use them to trace, if you like stay in one spot for too long, it'll kind of bleed. It'll make like a big, circle of bleed, and which is a little bit annoying, but it will come out in the water too, so it doesn't matter so much. All right, so I'm gonna switch back to the pencil because I do like the pencil. It just goes on smooth. So I'm just getting the big shapes first. And then we'll get these little jobbies in too. Okay. I'm excited to color this in though. I think that's going to be fun. Let's get these letters here quick. So we are going to play with color tinting today, and that's, I'm going to use colored pencils, but you can use crayons as well. You should be able to use really any colored pencil. So what we're going to do is color this in, then we're going to hit it with the iron, and that will kind of take the wax out of it, but it'll leave the pigment. And like I said, I ran that one piece through the wash today, and it held up like really, really well. I mean, I'm sure if I wash it a lot, it'll fade, and I'm sure it faded a little bit, but it held its color, so I'm happy with that. Oh, I was almost about to take the fabric off, but forgot I did not draw any of these details yet. So I'm just gonna get all these little French knots. Ooh, piles of French knots all over the place here. So with color tinting, we'll do some tests on the edges and stuff too, just to test our color. And you do want to have like a light touch with the pencils, and build color really. So we'll give that a try. I think it just gives like a better just overall appearance, but I suppose you could press hard with it too. It might be fun to add like some swirls. We'll do a test of that too before putting it on the actual piece. And like I said earlier, I am planning to trim this down a little bit, so I'll do my little tests on the edge, and that'll be trimmed off eventually. All right, I just want to get these flowers in. Oh, I think I was going to almost add another one in there. I think these, if I get close enough, we're going to be good. I'm speeding through this, so take your time. I am kind of wanting to get to the coloring and stuff tonight, but yeah, take your time to trace for sure. And there we go. I think we have her there. So let's take the, I could probably save these little pieces. Take these little guys off. I'm just using painter's tape here. I use this for when I do quilting related things as well. So there we go, that looks good. And I'm gonna save my design here in case I want to trace it onto something else. So Marcia says if you iron the water-soluble marker, it might heat set. So it might not come out. We should do a test of that, and maybe we'll test that with this. I've heard that too, but I have never tested that to make sure. So luckily, I think we're going to cover up all those lines here, so I'm not too worried about it, but it would be good. Maybe we'll do a test, because we are going to heat set this. So if it doesn't work on, if it doesn't come out on this, then yeah, then I think you're right. We should just switch to just a pencil. But all right, here we are. So I think, why don't we go ahead and start playing with color here. So here's the design again. I'm going to just have this nearby. Oh, you're ironing yours, but it doesn't transfer, Rockin' Robin. Oh, why don't we try that too? I do have the iron heated up. So this is the trace version. Why don't I go ahead and show you guys how to do the iron-on version as well. So I do have it here again. I have cut off that little top, that little top here. So I'm going to just grab another piece of fabric. So we'll just do a second one here. Let me grab my ironing mat. So, and I'm also going to grab a paper towel. I'm going to put that underneath my fabric just to protect my mat, because it might transfer all the way through. So like if you're on an ironing board, it might transfer all the way through, so you want to put a little piece of protection there. All right, so you'll want your iron set to the cotton setting. I think mine is on that now. Mine is at the high setting. So first thing you want to do is preheat your fabric. I think that's pretty important. So I'm just running over it here, just preheating it, getting it nice and warm. All right, and then now I'm going to place my design, so face down right in the center. I think right about there. So this is preheated, so that is important. And then I'm going to just place the iron on top. I'm going to try and not wiggle too much, but I want to make sure that I'm getting all the sides. I'm going to kind of count to 5. 3, 4, 5, and I know I'm not hitting every area. So I'm just going to move a little bit and peek. And whoa, yep, this has transferred quite dark there. So we didn't need to put it nearly as much as that. I think really one of the keys is to preheat the fabric. So have it on the high and preheat the fabric, and that helps quite a bit. So I don't know if you've preheated it, Robin, but give that a try. This definitely came out a lot darker, more bold than the alligator one, but I think I maybe didn't preheat the fabric as much on the alligator. But there we go, and I should still be able to use this like 3 or 4 more times. So I'm gonna save this, but there, now we have an iron-on piece ready to go for when I try and do that book as well. And actually, why don't we'll do another one. I might as well just go ahead and do the whole alphabet again. So let's see, let's get another piece of fabric here. And I'll do the letter A again. But you can kind of see the design a little bit on there, so I'm going to just flip this around. Actually, I might fold it just so it doesn't get on the fabric again. So I'm going to get my alligator iron-on over here. So this is the Trace Me, and there. So this is the alligator one. We use this already, but it should still, like I said, work again a few more times. So I'm just going to kind of center this paper here. I can kind of see that it's centered, and then I'm going to center this on top. But again, I do have to preheat the fabric. I think that's pretty important. So I'm going to go over it again with my nice hot iron. You should be able to use it more than once, Robin. There is the trace one, so just make sure you're not using the trace one. I'd be happy to send you another one though. Okay, 1, 2, well, kind of going up and down. And then you can peek, and it's looking good. There we are. So this is the second time we've used this. Oops, sorry. And it's looking great. It's actually looking maybe a little bit better than my first pass. You can tell I didn't hold on the nose and the tail quite as much, but I can still 100% see that totally fine. So this was the second time using that iron-on. I can get at least a good 3 more out of this, I'm thinking. So that's why I'm saving it for later. Stitch and Tori, where do you get the patterns? They're on my website at penguinandfish.com. There's a link over in the TikTok profile here for 20% off as well. So just click that link and it'll be in the patterns area. But I have the whole alphabet, and that's what we're stitching through here this year. Oh, Justin says my bee came out darker too. Yeah, I think it just has to do with the heat. So you do that preheating of the fabric again, and then yeah, just holding it down for like a longer period of time. We'll get it darker. I mean, it won't really get darker than this. This is like, 100%. But at 50%, it would still be good. So and I might have like moved a little. So if you move too much, it will wiggle your paper and your fabric a little bit, and then your lines might get a little bit blurry. So you just want to make sure that you really are kind of only holding it down a little, and just be careful when you move, just to cover the rest of it. Oh, you got it to go. Robin, I suspect that the iron might not be hot enough. That's what I would suspect. So like getting it like hot enough and then doing that press on the fabric first. I find that's really helpful, preheating the fabric. Is it good enough to see? Hopefully, even though it's light, hopefully you can see the whole design. Otherwise, if you can see most of it, there is that Trace Me one, so you could just put this underneath and finish it up like any little bit that you can't see. There is the Trace one as well. All right, so I have a couple letters in case I want to make a accordion book. We were talking about making an accordion book out of all these, which would be so cute, like sew them together. Like so, and then it would just kind of close up to be this cute little thing, and then it would pull out and be like a whole alphabet. I think that'd be fun. Okay, so there we are. But we'll go ahead and use our Trace one tonight, just because that's the one what we started out with today. I can still see everything pretty good there. Definitely not as good as the Iron Me, right? I mean, that's so much darker and nicer. But you don't always have like an iron-on pattern, so I wanted to show how to trace it as well. All right, so let's go ahead and start color tinting this. So I am gonna keep my feller here for a little bit of a guide. Like, I like those green colors and stuff. Why don't we start there? So here's my bin of colored pencils. I do have my sharpener kind of hidden in there. I might need those. I'm just gonna pull out a bunch of greens. Like I kind of like these kind of limey greens. Here's like a teal. Maybe we'll get one of those in there. Just grabbing whatever I see here. Maybe even like this is kind of like a yellowy something or another. Okay, let's just start there. So we want to kind of build up color a little bit when we do this. So let's, I'm going to just kind of draw on the edges here. So let's just start with this green. So if I press really darkly, I mean, you can color it in right away. That's fine. But if you want just a little subtle tone, if you press a little lighter, you'll get just like a haze of the color almost. Like I always kind of like go in like little circles and stuff. And then you can actually, build color up on top of it. So like, let's say we want to blend a couple colors together. I always like going on the side here like this, because then I can kind of see what the colors are looking like. Because sometimes what they look like with the pencil looks a little different than what they do on on the fabric. Like this one's looking maybe a little darker than what I want. And it's not even really going on the fabric really well. I did like that first color though. Which one was that? Got to keep track. All right, so this is kind of like a nicer, kind of bright green, whereas this one was more of a yellow green, which I kind of liked. Yeah, I kind of like this one, and this one feels like it's going on really smooth too. So let's hang on to that one. I do like that. What about this tealy, pale teal color? What does it look like next to this? Yeah, it's maybe a little too blue. Ooh, that's bright and fun. That's like a neon yellow there. That might be kind of fun to pair with. Ooh, yeah, these two colors are kind of fun. So that's these two. And what about you? You're a pale green here. I feel like that's close to the same one that I had here. Maybe I messed up. Oh yeah, this is a different one. I think these were my two colors. Ooh, this is a nice little shading color. Yeah, all right. So let's start just coloring with these. So I'm just kind of playing around on the side here, and I don't think I want to color this whole guy in, but I do want to give him like a little haze of color. So I'm gonna just kind of go around the edges a little bit, just really lightly. And I can always add color to it. But ooh, this is going to be fun. This little color tinting. I'm kind of tempted to give him like little legs or something too on his belly. But I think maybe I'll just stick with this green here. This is fun. So what we're going to do is just color him in. I mean, it's just literally we're just coloring it in like a coloring book, just kind of lightly. I always kind of like leaving a little bit of the fabric because I think, I don't know, when it's done, I just feel like you get that sense of like, oh yeah, he's still stitched and on this fabric. It's like I almost said Wisconsin, but I meant like in watercolor. A lot of times they say to just like keep some of the paper color, because that adds like some lightness and stuff to it. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. So I'm just kind of building up on it, some of this bright yellow. Oh, what colors am I? So I am using Prismacolors. These are old from like, I think I had these in like high school. They were like a big Christmas present or something at one time. So they're a zillion years old. They're like over 20 years old. And I still use them randomly here and there. So yeah, I'm using neon yellow and chartreuse. Yep. if you're wondering, but you don't need fancy Prismacolor ones. You can use just any colored pencil really, and you can actually use crayon and stuff too. Okay, I do like this neon. I'm gonna add a little bit to his mouth area. Like his whole face could be like maybe this bright neon. So it is going to be subtle, but remember we are stitching on top of this, so I want my stitches to like shine still. I want that to be the main thing. Okay, that's kind of fun. I think we need a little bit more up on his head here. And I do kind of want to like get a little shading in there, so I'm going to go with this little bit darker one. Like just maybe on the edges, it's a little darker. Or like his belly. There, but when you do a bunch of different colors and you're just really light, you can get them to sort of like blend together here. So let me get a little closer, guys, so you guys can see. But this is what we got so far. We kind of left his belly open, and he's got this kind of bright yellow going around that fades to like this kind of chartreuse green, and then, you know, now we've added a little bit of that darker down there, which is subtle, but if you compare it to the rest, it's there. And you could do like super way more bold than this too. Oh, I forgot, where'd my pencil go? These are the two main ones, and was I using maybe this one? I don't even know what I was using anymore. Oh well. Let's just keep adding other colors. I don't want to mess it up though either. I should just stop. As I grab more. I just want this a little darker down here. So yeah, you can just build on your color. There we go. Now his little tail, his abdomen end here is a little darker. That's kind of fun. There, now I'm getting some contrast there. So it's kind of lighter on top and goes to this dark green. Oh, Marsha says this would be so fun to do with kids. Oh, totally. So you could just iron on the pattern and give it to a kid and have them color it in and then stitch on top of it. Oh, God, that would be such a fun project. All right, so now let's play with the wings a little bit. So I'm going to actually put all these, maybe not. I'm going to save the greens that I was using just in case I want to touch it up a little bit, but I think these other greens I'll just put away for now. I do like the idea of the green and the pinks together. I think that's like a really kind of sweet combo. Let's, you know, as I grab purple, let's get some purple. Here's some pinks. Ooh, here's some like super duper bright pink. Some darker pink. Well, that's kind of like, oops, there. Now you guys can see. That's kind of like a fun combo starting there. Maybe let's get another little purple. Maybe we do pink and purple. It's a really pale one. So let's just start there. There's more in here, but this seems like a good start. Let's continue to like play around on the edge here. So I was thinking originally that it would be fun to add like some swirls and stuff through here. Ooh, that lead's gonna come out. So maybe we do actually like press a little harder and add some swirls. Like it'd be fun to add like swirls in the background of the wings. Like maybe we shade it in kind of like how we did the body here, and then maybe we go over the whole top with some squiggles. Like maybe it's like super bright squiggles. I just think that'd be a fun little addition because we're gonna basically add a pile of pattern on top of here anyway because it's gonna have all the stitching on top. So any pattern or color that we put with the color is gonna feel further behind the stitches, you know? So, all right, let's I do kind of like that bright pink. I'm gonna put that to the side. Let's just do some color tests here on the side again, like what shows up well and goes on the fabric easily. Okay, now this is a lot brighter than what I was thinking when I grabbed it just then. Let's go super light first. So this is almost like a peach is what it's called. Well, that's pretty subtle. It reads as pink though still, so this could be like the base color. This guy needs to be sharpened. I kind of think the duller the better for this, but this was not showing any color at all. Kathy says, I'm just going to stitch mine. Sounds great. That's a good idea. I know we're putzing along with this for sure. I don't think I like that as much as these two. So a little orangier. That's what it looks like with some purple. I'm going to see what else I have for a very light pink. That's a little orangey. Some of these pencils are like hidden way down in this bag. I need to make a new bag for this or something. Only the tall pencils exist still. That's okay. Ooh, and that's a little dark. I don't like that. Okay, I'm going to start with this as my base. So I'm going to just color in the edges again, just lightly, just so we have just that hint of color in there versus filling it all in again, I think. This is going to be fun. So I still think this is going to be pretty subtle once we start stitching. So I do want to finish the coloring tonight, and then we'll start stitching tomorrow. With the coloring, what I still want to do today as well is we're going to set this. So once you have all the color how you want it, you'll just put a paper towel on top of it, and then we're going to press on top of that, and that's going to like get the wax out of the colored pencils and just kind of leave the pigment. And like I said, I ran it through the washing machine and it seemed to work pretty decent today. Maybe we do the bottom like the purple. Just trying to get... I'm just going to do purple for the bottom here. Then we'll add some pinks and kind of blend the colors a little bit. So this will mostly be filled in with stitches, but we're adding a little bit. It's fun to just sit in color, though. That's why everyone likes those coloring books, those adult coloring books. Those fun, detailed ones. Just get to just chill and play around a little bit. I'm gonna just add a little bit more pink to this. It's a little darker at the tips, so I'm just gonna go over it a little bit more. I pressed a little harder here, and there you can see it. It's kind of a harsh line versus when you go gradually, it just kind of builds it up a little bit. So I think just the little circles where you build it up is kind of maybe a little bit nicer. Some pink to this purple down here too. I think that'll be fun. Let's go even darker. We haven't done this too much yet. This is only, I think, the third time we've ever done this here, so this is kind of fun. Maybe it's something we can do more often, add to our repertoire of embroidery stuff. I don't know. Does the pencil you use trace the pattern blend with the colored pencil at all? It is a little bit. So Amy's asking that, does like, because we drew with pencil on here first, is it blending with this color? I mean, it kind of is, but I can still see it enough that I'll be able to stitch it, I think. But yeah, it is blending a little bit. All right, I think that's kind of fun. I'm not totally sold on this purple down here, but I think it's good enough. Oh, that's a gray. I want like a light color. think this is the one that I just said I didn't like because it was too purple, but that might work well on the purple area. And if you go over the whole thing with the color, it'll kind of blend it all together a little bit. I feel like I just want the tips to be a little bit different. What if we add like some orange or something? And this is kind of yellow. I want a little bit more. Ooh, maybe like this peachy orange. Yeah, let's add a little bit of this at the tips. It's almost like it has like rosy wings right there at the tips. Ooh, you could add dimensional tatted wings. That's, I mean, I would like to do. Oh, I just got a whole ton of tatting books from the library. I'll have to put together a little post of all those, but some of them have some butterflies in, so I definitely want to give those a try. All right, I think that's cute. I do kind of want to add this swirl though. Like I think I'm just gonna go right in here and I'm committing. We're just adding kind of like a back and forth swirl here that will be covered in other stitches, so it's gonna be subtle, but I think it's kind of fun. Giving something a try. Let's try and mimic it on this side. I'll go over it again with a darker. There, it's similar but a little bit different. There we go. I don't know. It's silly. I think it's kind of fun. So there we're at right now. It doesn't look like much quite yet. I think the camera's not picking up the color quite as nice, but I think it is going to look fun once we have some stitching on top of it. So let's figure out the B here. Maybe we go back to the green. Maybe we do something totally different. What about maybe we do like an orange like this or something. Just get a little of that in there. Or maybe we do like a bunch of colors. So I'm going to just make the whole middle this orange. We're just going to play with this a little bit. This kind of yellow. And maybe it blends. So like maybe we have it like blend to the pinkier color at the top. And maybe the green color at the bottom. It's kind of fun. Over that a little bit. Kind of blend it. And then we'll go the green root on the bottom. Oh, that's the bright yellow. Okay. I think that's fun. Yep. There we go. Got a little kind of like rainbow thing going on there. I think this is plenty. It's kind of silly and fun. So let's go ahead and press this to set it, and then we'll start stitching. We'll get it in the hoop and start seeing what it looks like. So all right, I'm going to get my ironing mat out here again, and I'm going to get a new piece of fabric here, or of paper towel. And I'm just going to place this right side down. I'm going to test that little colored edge that we did first. So I'm going to just get my iron, and we're just going to press on the back here. We're just basically heating up that wax to get it all out. Oh, Marcia says, love that effect on the on the letters. Yeah, that was kind of fun. Adding all those different colors there. So it's not really coming off. I mean, it is a little bit on my mat here, or on the paper here, but not too bad. I'm actually going to just flip that around. Let's get the whole thing here. Get it right on the side here. All right, so we're kind of pressing out that color a little bit. Again, this is just kind of setting it. Heating up all that kind of wax that's in there, and it should just basically be leaving the pigment. Kathy says, how many squares will we do before we do the quilting? I think I might want to start doing some of the quilting next month when we do the embroideries. So I should have timing on that in a little bit here. I'm probably doing this overkill. I don't think I need to do it that much. Let's see. There, you can definitely see, just barely, but some greens are on there. But there we go. So it looks the same, which it should. It actually looks like maybe a little bit bolder, but it's there. So I think, why don't we go color it? So if you did do this with the iron on, though, like with the fabric with the iron on, make sure to have a piece of paper underneath too, because this could actually transfer again from the fabric to your pressing mat. So I would put a piece of fabric underneath as well. All right, let's get going on this. I think we have a teeny amount of time to get prepped for stitching at least. I'll leave the colored pencils there for now. So I'm going to get it in my hoop, and we'll be all prepped to start tomorrow. I do like that bee. So we won't stitch all that in with satin stitch, the letters here, because we've colored them in all nicely. We'll just outline them though still, I think. Fun. All right, so this is just going to be, it's almost as if we like tie-dyed it a little bit. I think once we get some stitches in there, it will feel a little bit more subtle, but in a cute way. I do want to just get like a few stitches in just to see what it looks like. So I think I'm going to get the green to go around his body. I think that'd be a fun place to start. And I think I'm going to use, we can either use like the lime peel, which is pretty dark, but it's kind of nice maybe, or this celery. The celery actually matches really well, but I kind of think I want it to stand out a little bit. So I think I'm going to go with the lime peel here. And so let's just grab a teeny bit and put a few stitches in here before the night's done. All right, so I'm going to just grab my 18 inches, or 18 and 24 inches. It's about good. And let's get our 3 strands out of here. So I'm going to just, got a little hair here. I'm going to just pat the end of there, just kind of separate them, and let's just isolate one. There we are. Oops. One. Two. And three. Okay, so I'll put the rest to the side. We'll use it later for sure. Match up these ends. Kathy, what I am hoping with these letters that they don't all take a week to do, and that we have like a day or two here or there that we can be quilting and prepping quilt stuff as we go during the week. Otherwise, we still do have like the last week of the month. That's kind of a free for all. We could do some quilting in there as well. So we'll figure that schedule out a little bit more. All right, I'm starting with my away knot. So this is so I can weave in the ends later. So let's see, I'm gonna just go way over here, I think. And let's just go around this body with a back stitch. I'm excited to just see what this looks like with some stitches here. That's what I want to get to tonight. So this is the same back stitch we used on the alligator. You're like going forward from underneath, and then you're going backwards along the line to where your last stitch was. Oh, this is just going to add so much nice texture to it. To our little colored pencils. Marcia says, love your nails. We had this discussion before, how much I love pink. Oh, funny. Yep, I went for the pink today because we're going to be working on this butterfly, and I knew there was going to be some pink in here. So I'm like, it's going to be pink this week. I just got all this new nail polish stuff that I'm kind of testing to hopefully have it last a bit longer. And I think it did pretty good last week. So still in the testing phase, but I'll have to share about that soon. This is looking so cute with that green outline. So then all the color just ends up being like this subtle tinting. Because, you know, our eyes are still gonna go to the stitching, but it almost just makes like the stitching glow a little bit. Kind of fun. I can definitely see all my pencil marks still, so we're fine there. And I can always, if I couldn't see them anymore, I could just retrace those little areas as well, but I can definitely see it just fine. So this lime peel kind of matches, this green that I'm stitching with kind of matches the lower part of his abdomen here. Whenever I think of, there's this song that, I don't know, was on some tape when we were little, that I think of whenever I think of insects, and it's like, head, thorax, abdomen, they're inside out, no bones within. So that's what I think about whenever I think of the parts of a insect. They're inside out, no bones within. That's how I remember the parts. Head, thorax, abdomen. Oh, God. The things that stick with you are funny. we'll just go till we run out of this thread tonight. And I think we got a pretty good start here. It was fun to play with the colored pencils again today. It's been a while. Sometimes it's just nice to color. Feels like being a little kid and just getting to sit at the table and color. Oh, your husband and you were singing hee-haw songs today. Ugh, funny. Yeah, this is looking super cute with just that little bit of color there. It's kind of hard to see because the light from behind is making it look paler than it is, but if you, like, once it's against fabric and stuff, I think you're going to really see these little bits of color. And it is pale. I mean, it's called color tinting, so we're just adding a little bit of color to the design. Where it works really nicely, I think, is if you want to like add some like rosy cheeks to something, then it's like super subtle, but a nice little touch. But this would totally be fun with kids. I think that'd be neat. Have them color something and just stitch on top. That'd be a fun project. For sure, I'd tape that fabric to the table then. Then it'd be much easier to color on top of. Or onto like a piece of cardboard or something. Yeah, we're almost out of thread already. I'm gonna just make it around. I was thinking we'd get some of these antennae with this thread, but I don't know. Got about 2 more stitches here, and I'll start going up one antenna. I think I might get a couple stitches out of it. Cute. I think this is just, I'm going to do the same green. You could change colors for the antenna if you want, but I'm going to stick with this green. Yeah, let's get a couple more stitches out of here. So I'm going to weave in these ends, and then we'll call it an evening, I think. We'll have to put his little face on tomorrow. I think that'll add a lot to this. But he's going pretty quick overall. I mean, we do have all these French knots, and we have some lazy daisy stitches that we'll be doing here too. So that'll be new for us. Haven't done the lazy daisy stitch yet in the alphabet. I think we'll have lots of those later. Oh, I got a little bit farther than I thought I would here. I think one more. Oh, can I post a picture of it later? Will do. Yeah, I'll do that right when I'm done here. Okay, just weaving in those ends. Trying to get as many threads as possible there. Alright, cut our little away knot off there. And we'll tuck in this end as well. Not enough thread. I'm going to go through that with the eye of the needle first. it's subtle, but fun little extra touch there, I think. Oh, the tatting shuttles are back in stock. So we do have the tatting shuttles again. They came in, I think, maybe 2 weeks ago or so. So they are available now. I'm needing to do some more tatting. I was hoping to do some this weekend and come on live, but we just got super busy. So I don't know. Maybe one of these afternoons I might have to pop on. All right. Do we have a video? Oh, of wrapping a hoop with cotton bias tape for snugness. Yes. So it's been a while. So this is what we did, Justin. So this is the one that we wrapped. I didn't use bias tape. I just actually used a little... Oh, it looks like a jalapeno. It totally does. Amy, you're totally right. Amy says, my son says it looks like a jalapeno. Oh, especially with it's like the stem and the jalapeno. Hopefully it looks a little bit more like a butterfly once we get the rest of the stitching in, but you're totally right. But here's the one that I did with, I didn't do it with cotton bias tape. I just had some scraps of like 1-inch fabric, and this is actually linen that I had extra, and it's fraying quite a bit, which is fine. But yeah, so I just start wrapping kind of at a 45-degree angle, and then once I get matched up to the end, I've just kind of like hand stitched it down. And that's really all I've done. We did do this on video, but it's been a long time in the search. If you go to our YouTube and then do a search like within, you have to, not like a full YouTube search, but like a search within my page. There's a little personal search in there. You might be able to find it like hoop wrapping. But yeah, you just kind of go at a 45-degree angle, and then you just stitch it onto each other when it ends. But yep, so this does help. What this is going to do is it's going to keep your fabric snugger, and it's also, because you are like, it's adding some squish to it basically, so the squish, the shuttles aren't on my Etsy shop. They're over on penguinandfish.com. So if you go to the link in my profile, that will take you right there. That's a good... I should put them up on Etsy, though. I didn't think about that. Duh. I should do that, too. But it does make this a little squishier, so that helps with the tension. It's going to also reduce some of these harsh circles that you get from the hoop. Really, we should be... maybe I'll do it. I keep forgetting, but when you're not stitching, it's a good idea to take it out of the hoop, and we'll do that for this one. It's a good idea to take it out of the hoop because then it'll help relax some of those edges, make them not as severe. I mean, we're going to press this and it'll be quilted, so it'll probably be fine. But yeah, this would be fun. Would gross grain ribbon suffice? Must it be 100% cotton? It definitely does not have to be 100% cotton. Gross grain ribbon, I mean, I'm sure it'll be fine. If that's what you have, I would go for it. I think maybe a fabric would have a little bit more squish to it, and I think gross grain ribbon might actually end up being pretty thick, which might make it a little more difficult to put the outer hoop on. But give it a try. I mean, theoretically, that sounds like it would be great. Yeah, the trick is just if it's going to be like too fat to put the hoop on. But if it is, then you can always take it off and use something else. You might have to just like get it super duper wide before putting it on. But I think you really only need it on the inner hoop. I know some people put it on the inner and outer hoops. But then it'd be really, really difficult to close the top. You would need like a special like longer bit. Yeah, Marsha says it might be too thick. That's kind of what I was thinking. And maybe more slippery. Yeah. So I just give it a try. And literally, I just use scraps. So like if you have any fabric scraps, even like, extra ones of this, and you just cut it in a bunch of little strips. Like the moment you finish one strip, you can just start winding with the next, really. We should try that again, though, sometime. Do the winding. But all right, there we go. All right, you guys. Let's pop back up here. So, all right, I'm going to scooch you over. Okay, So this was kind of fun. It's been a while since we've done this coloring. Let's see if you guys can see it. Yeah, it's pretty subtle, but I think once we have all the stitching in, it's just going to be like that nice little extra touch to the stitching. So this is fun. I'm glad we gave this a try. So we'll keep going with the stitching for the rest of the week here. Tomorrow is going to be the last day I'm here, and then we'll be on location at my parents' house for the rest of the week. So in that case, I'll probably only be on YouTube and TikTok, since I can't do the dual thing on Facebook very well while I'm there. So it'll have to be jumped over to there for one of those two for Wednesday through Friday. But we will work our way through the rest of this butterfly, getting it going on these alphabets here. All right. So have a lovely rest of your evening, everyone, and I will see you tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. Have a great evening. Good night.